all of the energy converges in St. George, which is really the central node. And if you look at the picture of the dragon, the nose of the dragon is just off of Barbados. This is very, very key. The oil that they're digging about, or I should say digging, the Trinidadians have a gas company called the Dragon Gas Line.
No way, boss. No way we just finding this out in 2025. The Trinidadian oil line is called the Dragon Gas Line. I'm out of here, boss. For the dismount. Say it with me, cuz. Body bag for the illusion.
And in Venezuela, that I spoke of this, there's something called Boca de Dragon, the mouth of the dragon.
Now Trump's talking about going to war with Venezuela. You know it got to do with the oil, but did you know it has to do with the mouth of the dragon? Do we see clearly?
So I hope this helps you guys to understand.
Hold on, man. No way. No freaking way. No way. The Dragon Gas deal. Ain't this some shit? Ain't this some shit? All gas, no brakes, man. We are out of here. The Dragon Gas deal is a project between Trinidad and Tobago's national gas company and Shell to import natural gas from Venezuela's from Venezuela's dragon. I mean, let's just say that, right? Do you see clearly, Kai? Can you say body? Can you leave a comment and say body? I just want to see who made it this far. Can you leave a comment with some dragon emojis, man, and say body bag for the illusion? Venezuela, Trump invading Venezuela. In the name of drugs and pushing peace. Yeah, this whole situation is all about the oil. The Dragon gas field. From Venezuela's offshore Dragon gas field, initially agreed upon 2018. The project was revived in 2023 under a 30-year lease intended to help alleviate Trinidad and Tobago declining. Yeah, it's always in the name of something good, but really it's about the dragon constructing a pipeline from the dragon. Do you see clearly? Despite ongoing uncertainty due to U.S. sanctions on Venezuela. This is why they mad, boss. This is why they're after Venezuela. And it's in close proximity to Mount Roraima, which can also be called the Tree of Life. It's the source of the Amazon River. It's the source of the Orinoco River, who Columbus said must be flowing out of terrestrial paradise. Are we collapsing the wave? Are we collapsing the wave pattern on paradise? Wow. Ooh, I can't. We can't make this stuff up. It is all happening.
George, which is really the central node. And if you look at the picture of the dragon, the nose of the dragon is just off of Barbados. This is very, very key. The oil that they're digging about, or I should say digging, the Trinidadians have a gas company called the Dragon Gas Line. And in Venezuela, that I spoke of this, there's something called Boca de Dragon, the mouth of the dragon. So I hope this helps you guys to understand what is happening here in the Caribbean and on a greater scale. This isn't just about oil. This is about keeping the dragon asleep, because when she awakes, it is all over. And believe me, it is on Ben. Yeah. She has awoken.
It is all happening, boss. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's talk 2016, like I promised, for the dismount, framer, shaper. Let's talk divine feminine and divine masculine. So we got receipts on the balance, right, that we attain in Drop Nation, right? The Ha and the Wah. Mother, father, inhale, exhale, framer, shaper. It's not just the divine mother. It's not just a sky father, right? It's mother, father, and she is daily his delight.
The framer, the shaper, right? The mother, wisdom, the father, all right? Hey.
2016, we still learning. We was on our hey. Now we understand. That Hawa is the earlier form of Heya. We just had to get the earlier form. Ping pow.
Sitzako, framer, refers to one who makes something by putting things together, i.e. building from stone, adobe, a meal from various ingredients.
That's mama. Mama makes that meal, right, from various ingredients. That is the framer. This is wisdom. Proverbs chapter 8. We're reading out of the Mayan sacred text, the Popol Vuh. Let's go.
That's right. Creative. A chef that is creative is the chef that you know what I'm saying, goes to the top of the game, right? So
shout out my queen chef Condi. 2 decades of Ahab, daily each other's delight. Halal HaWah.
Creativity we're talking about. The earth is created. Creativity, right brain, left brain, all that, right? So this is, you can go metaphysical with it. Obviously the kingdom is within. You can definitely go within with it. You can also understand what it really is as your nuclear divine family. I think your father just chilling by himself and doesn't understand the feminine. They took it away from the obvious. And now you see. Your mother wisdom rests with you when you're in order, in law, with your creator. In law, with your father, your mother blesses you and showers you with creativity, various ingredients, or woven cloth from individual threads. Your father, Beto, shaper, refers to one who makes something by modeling, i.e. pottery from clay. I made you out of clay. I am the potter, the shelter, or a sculpture from carved stone, thus giving shape to an otherwise amorphous substance.
Bang.
With his vibration, he gives it shape. With his law, with his order, it becomes something, right? You are vibrating. You are not what you think you look like in the mirror. You are under a vibration.
432.
Giving shape. The shaper. The framer and the shaper are the most frequently mentioned gods involved in the creation of the world and its inhabitants.
Together. So when she's talking divine feminine out of Egypt and Sophia, they going off on the feminine, tipping the balance, you know what I'm saying, that way. You know what I mean? The Christians are tipping it that way. We're putting it back together in the indigenous framework of framer, shaper, of the Hebrew framework of HaWah, right? Wisdom, daily, his delight. Proverbs chapter 8 is knowledge. She is understanding. Solomon is praying for more mama. In Proverbs chapter 4, he's saying, give me more wisdom. Please give me understanding so that I can fortify my kingdom, man. He needs big mama. But he's praying to Pops to give him more mama. You know what I'm saying? Framer and shaper. Proverbs chapter 4 says to extol her, which is to praise. To extol is to praise. So we are, administered, you know what I'm saying, ordered to praise our mother and father, our framer and shaper. To seek wisdom is to seek life, she says in Proverbs chapter 8. To extol, Proverbs chapter 4, go dig on it.
But it's not taught to you. But it's the most frequently mentioned gods involved in the creation of the world and its inhabitants. Their names imply that the creation involved giving frame and shape to matter that already existed. Amorphous energy always is. Frame and shape to matter that already existed rather than conjuring something out of nothing. This pair of gods was so important that soon after, listen up, this pair of gods was so important, this divine couple, this nuclear family was so important that soon after the Spanish conquest, Father Domingo de Viso used their quiche indigenous names to refer to the God, capital G, of the Old Testament.
Whoa, body bag. That means that Domenico de Viso knew that there's a separate God from the Old and New. The God of the Old Testament ain't the God of the New Testament. Hence the schism of 1054, Jesus is now God in the flesh. Oh no. The God of the Old Testament, the power, the creator of the Old Testament, the actual indigenous original creator in the Tanakh, Manaya, is the framer shaper before they switched it to the God of the New Testament. This is a body bag for the illusion. And it also shows the balance of framer and shaper.
So this, just like we got last time, is letting you know straight up there is a God of the Old separate from the God of the New Testament that was delivered in your King James 1611 hijack after he colonized you and came here in 1603. And
what?
It took your records from Jerusalem here, Jerusalem, and brought them back and then remixed your records that he got from coming here in 1603, and then wrote the 1611 or authorized the 1611 hijack that included the New Testament for the very first time.
Are we popping off the balcony?
And now you're being introduced to it and have to thank your colonizer and invader for bringing you your God, your hijack.
Oh my goodness.
Father Domingo de Viso used their quiche names to refer to the God of the Old Testament. Oh, that's the Old Testament God. That's the actual creator.
Whoa.
Jesus is our new. The Son is our new.
Woo.
That gives us hope. Woo. Not this one, because this one's going to destroy our ass. We know that for sure. So we need a new guy. Let's go.
Yeah, the hijack can't cling to the God of the Old Testament. They already know what comes with that. They need Jesus to wash away their sins. Hey, that's 2016 drop. That's almost 10 years ago. My nuggets. Halal HaWah, we've been on it from the beginning for 10 years. Popping off. I'll leave the link. Frame and Shaper, Popova, Cocksquails, Alkabulan Part 2. Get in the classroom and surf the way. All right, now let's talk serpents and dragons, right? As we make our dismount, the alchemical dragon. Remember alchemy. BlackDrago.com. Love to Miss D and the Copper Color Awakening. Let's go. Now, there's an alchemical dragon, right, that represents the philosophical quicksilver. This is the unknown. Unlike ordinary anything, Mercury, whatever, the philosophical quicksilver is a mystery, right? It's mysterious. They don't know what it is. Substance of unknown origin, right? But from this substance, right, the living spirit can be extracted. It is the vessel in which the spirit is contained. So the dragon is the vessel that contains the spirit. It is unknown origin to them. Then they got the serpent, which is not unknown, because that's what they are. It's impersonal, unconscious, just now bursting, technological singularity, right? Robots, everything comes conscious, right? Burst into consciousness. So that is your AIs and, robots, robotics, and all that stuff like that. The act of conscientio is the bringing together of the opposites. So when they bring in your opposites, white, black, yada, yada, they create conscientio. When they turn you from being royals to being thugs, that is conscientio. Bloods versus Crips, conscientio, right? It's the dragon devouring itself. It's the Ouroboros, the, situation. So they know the serpent is dangerous, but the dragon is mysterious, unknown, and the living spirit can be extracted. So it connects with the living spirit so much that it is the vessel, the security that contains the spirit. So the dragon is not the serpent in alchemy. Right? The Ouroboros, ancient symbol, Egyptian tombs, the serpent eating its own tail is the dragon eating its own tail When we're out of code, we devour ourselves. That's the dragon eating its own tail. Killing your own brother is devouring your own tail. Stealing from your brother is devouring your own tail, right? Putting another power before your power is devouring your own self, right? Your own spirit. So the serpent in alchemy is unconscious. The dragon is mysterious, unknown, living spirit, extracted, the vessel, all that stuff. Represents water, power, right? The serpent cannot be and is not the dragon. So this Marco Morrow book, Serpents of Wisdom, I'll leave a link. The Quetzalcoatls and the Kukulcans of Mesoamerica, just a couple sentences here. The descendants of the first serpents of wisdom in Mesoamerica and the administrators of the Middle American dragon culture, they founded the dragon culture. We're talking Mother Earth dragon, we're talking Big Pops, everybody, Framer Shaper. The American dragon culture they founded were the Quetzalcoatls, right, and the Kukulcans. I said cons. Distinguished titles, which meant feathered and plumed serpents, which we know is not the alchemical serpent, unconsciousness, right? We know we're still talking dragon. So whenever I see serpent in this context, I'm just going to say dragon, because we know we're not talking about the unconscious, just now bursting into consciousness and impersonal. We're not talking impersonal. We're not talking unconscious. God. We're not talking some monstrous snake, yada, yada, yada. We're not talking that. We're talking the serpents of wisdom. We're talking dragons. We're talking Big Mama and them, right? So this American, Amarucan dragon culture, Quetzalcoatls, Kukulcans, feathered dragons, plumed dragons, and Nahuatl, Mayan vernaculars, respectfully, these plumed dragons served in the roles of priest kings, Prester Johns. Priest is Prester, John is king, Juan. Spiritual teachers and cultural barriers to the Middle American people. They introduced and taught the language, sacred calendars, theology, many of the practical arts. They were also responsible for designing and overseeing the construction of many of the pyramids, temples, which eventually dotted the Mesoamerican landscape. We talked Olmec, right? The Olmec Quetzalcoatls, previously mentioned, legendary first settlement of the plumed dragons in Middle America was Tamoan Khan. The Khan is priest, Khan, a name which means the place where people of the dragon landed, located in what is now the state of Veracruz, Mexico. The dragon landed. We're still talking ley lines, dragon lines, energy centers, right? The Ki, the Chi, the Olmec are the She, right? The Tamoan Khan was the Garden of Eden for many native tribes of Mesoamerica, according to the People of the Serpent by Edward Thompson, an initiate of numerous secret brotherhoods of the Maya. Some of the earlier Quetzalcoatls from Timoan Khan eventually departed on missionary expeditions in order to found colonies in other parts of Middle America. One of their spin-off cultures is known historically as the Olmecs. So the Olmecs are also dragon clans, the Shashia, the Tangu of Prester John Khan. Dragon Khans, a civilization founded in the jungles of Veracruz, which is or was based upon direct experience of the great dragon. And Mexico is Meshi. Meshi is Moshe. Khan, Moses made that copper dragon in Numbers 21 that gave people life, whoever it bit or stung with the fire. Yeah, man. In order to study the dragon, i.e. its shape, movements, habitat, as well as awaken the inner serpent fire, the Olmecs ritually consumed hallucinogenic psycho or psilocybin mushrooms, okay? Knockers on them shrooms, man, which they reverently referred to as the flesh of Quetzalcoatl or the flesh of the plumed dragon, while in induced fourth dimensional state of awareness, the Olmecs witnessed the dragon travel along its principal highway, dragon lines, ley lines just below the surface of the ground, as well as in and out the volcanic mountains. I told y'all the volcanoes are dragon lairs. It's true homes and entrance to the upper world. They had to go in to go up. The geometric patterns ornamenting the dragon's fourth dimensional body were duly recorded, and these shapes provided the basis for many of the Olmec's symbols and dragon effigies. All right, so dodging all hijacks, we see that there's a strong connection with the Olmec and the Dracan. We're talking about the Olmecs evolved into a quintessential dragon culture. So the dragon just means to see clearly. And I'm just asking y'all, do you see clearly, right? Do you got your dragon back? Because when you get your dragon back, you are visible. You see clearly. Everything is visible. You got that light. It is all clear. And that is a deadly glance to the hijack. That is a paralyzing sight. They freeze and they boot bones. When you got your deadly glance, that makes you fierce and that makes you violent.